Hello everyone, you're watching Channel Game Reviews. The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 2 arrives on Xbox One and brings the franchise's trademark humor and steampunk setting to consoles, along with a few new features. Action RPGs, or loot-playing games, saw a bit of a surprising renaissance in 2014 and 2015. In the midst of Diablo 3 and its expansions and Path of Exile, it may have been too easy to let the incredible adventures of Van Helsing and its sequels slip under the radar. The steampunk monster hunting themed Click Fist launched on PC to positive reviews, and the series has since been slowly coming to the Xbox One. The second installment, The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 2, launched on the Microsoft console on July the 1st, roughly 2 years after its PC launch. Van Helsing 2 picks up almost immediately where its predecessor left off. The titular monster hunter and his ever-present ghostly companion, Lady Katarina, are fighting to maintain order in steampunk Bulgaria and cracking jokes while they are at it. Although many ARPs rush through plot and get straight to the barrel smashing, Van Helsing 2 actually contains an interesting and funny narrative focused on the continuation of the war from the first game and a new mysterious figure called Prisoner 7. The ghoul appears throughout the game to warn the hero of incoming danger, and a large portion of the plot is built around whether or not it is trustworthy. Both the main quests and side quests provide tons of pop culture references and witty banter between the hero and Lady Katarina. The dialogue may go on a bit too long for gamers who are only interested in brawling, but it's easy enough to skip lines and rush through the cutscenes to the quest objectives. Xbox One gamers who played the first installment on the console will be happy to hear that level 30 characters can be transferred over to the sequel. Players who don't still have that save state on the HD, like us, have two other options. One game mode allows players to start from level 1 and build up a character from scratch. This is good for players who want the full experience, but we actually preferred the game mode that allowed players to start with the pre-made veteran character. The veteran characters are level 30 and come equipped with a full set of skills that would otherwise take a few hours of grinding to level into. This can feel a bit like jumping into the deep end, but it does provide a much better feel of how the game is meant to be played. One of the downsides to Van Helsing 2 is that it really does look like a 2-year-old game running on the Xbox One without many graphical updates. This isn't a major problem, but it may bother players who are used to sharp, HD character models and enemies on the PC. Although the game may lack the aesthetic polish of something like Diablo 3, the customization of each character's skill set is incredibly deep and layered. The game's armor, skill trees, stats, and abilities all offer the player a ton of power. It's quite overwhelming early on, and the game's tutorials don't do the best job of spelling things out, but the amount of control that players have over every option makes it very easy to sink dozens of hours into the game. In addition to keeping track of your own stats and skills, players must also manage the skill set of Lady Katarina. This offers a fun opportunity to spec complementary builds and create a synergistic team. Another way that the game brings some replayability and depth to the table is by offering 3 character classes: Hunter, Thaumaturge, or the Arcane Mechanic. The original game forced players into the Hunter role, so having more options this time around provides a nice change-up. Again, it's not quite as many classes as Diablo 3 or other RPs offer, but considering the $15 price tag, it's still a decent amount of content to work through and explore. Although many mechanics feel familiar, Van Helsing does offer a few unique twists on the ARP genre that help it stand out from the competition. Like the original, the game brings a series of Minotaur defense challenges to the table. The feature is expanded in the sequel and some improvements over the original system are made.
And finally,
Enemies
you'll
invade
look
the
the
heroes there in waves and players
the
fight them off
equipment
with
that makes the
traps and
hunt.
upgrades.
You know that, right?
The tower defense distractions are a lot of fun, but are entirely optional and offered through a long chain of side quests at Lair. Another feature that stands out from the usual ARP formula is the resistance management quests. These are reminiscent of the fleet missions in Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, and give Van Helsing the opportunity to act as the leader of the resistance and send out his troops and commanders on particular tasks. Much like the main pair of heroes, gamers can use the loot that the troops find on their missions to make them stronger for the next run. Again, this feature is pretty much entirely optional, but does offer an addictive reason to return to the game and check in on the lair. Although the incredible adventures of Van Helsing 2 doesn't look as sharp, it certainly delivers more than enough entertaining content for the price of entry. Fans of ARPs who enjoy micromanaging can't go wrong with this title, but its lack of deep tutorials might make it difficult to jump into for gamers who aren't already familiar with the genre. Game Reviews channel is specialized channels commented the latest games and most compelling in English. These new games are being preferred on the market. We look forward to your support. Click subscribe to channel support. Thank you very much.
Deformations and the scars, the reminders of years of captivity in a lab.
You were a test subject?
Fulmigati's favorite. Once a powerful being, now only a husk of my former self. Until your heroic deeds brought chaos to the prison. And so I escaped.
You're doing this out of gratitude?
And revenge. Though the professor is dead, his heritage and his allies still remain. This tortured soul wants them to suffer.
So you're proposing?
I must take my leave. We'll talk more later.
Ah, he did it again. And the way he talks, annoying.
I'm sure he'll return. Let's go.